At 2 a.m., the door to my off-base apartment exploded inward, splintering the frame like a thunderclap in the dead of night. My heart slammed against my ribs. Military instincts kicking in. Assess the threat. Evaluate options. Respond. But this wasn't some distant battlefield. This was home. Or what was left of it after years of running. There he stood, silhouetted against the hallway's harsh fluorescent glow. Victor. My stepfather. His broad shoulders heaving with booze-fueled fury. And lurking just behind him, sealing off the exit like a human barricade, was his brother Derek. Fists balled tight, eyes cold as steel. They'd trapped me. No escape. The air thickened with the stench of whiskey and old grudges. And in that suffocating moment, I knew the silence I'd kept for so long, the buried pain, the unspoken betrayals, was about to erupt. My name is Emily Harper, a sergeant in the U.S. Army, forged in the fires of Iraq. But no IED or ambush prepared me for the monsters who'd slithered back into my life that frigid February night. The crash jolted me from sleep, my bare feet hitting the cold linoleum as I scrambled for my phone. Victor lunged first. Knocking it from my grasp, it skittered across the floor and shattered against the baseboard. Thought you could cut us out, Emily? His words slurred, thick with the bourbon he always turned to when his control slipped. Derek stepped in, yanking the door shut with a deliberate twist. And I heard the lock click from the outside, some makeshift jam he'd rigged. They weren't here for talk, this was ambush. Calculated and cruel. We just want to chat, Victor growled. But his clenched jaw screamed otherwise. The same jaw that had tightened 1,000 times before unleashing hell on my mother. I backed toward the window. Mind racing, third floor drop. No fire escape. Bathroom to my left, a dead end. My sidearm was secured in the wall safe. Per regs, too far. Too slow. She called you, didn't she? I said, voice steady as I bought time. That's how you tracked me down. Victor's laugh was a bitter rasp. Your mom's smarter than that. Knows her place. Unlike you. Derek rattled the knob from outside, testing his trap. Vic, make it quick. Someone might hear. But Victor advanced, eyes locked on me like prey. Time to teach you some respect. Girl. My body tensed, drawing on every drill. Every sparring session with my battle buddy. Mia. Stay loose. Stay sharp. The room was cramped, standard military quarters. Efficient but unforgiving in a fight. Lamp on the nightstand could improvised as a club, the folding chair by the desk. A shield. Even the framed purple heart on the wall might buy a second. You got no hold here, I shot back, surprised by the steel in my tone. This is federal turf. Guards are changing shifts, Victor cut in, glancing at his watch with a smug twist. Derek scoped it out. We got 15 minutes. Ice clawed my veins. They'd recon the base like pros, timings, patrols, weak spots. This wasn't rage, it was a mission. Victor moved like a bull, faster than his bulk suggested. I sidestepped, but he clipped my shoulder, slamming me into the wall. Photos tumbled, my unit in the desert. Mom in happier days. The stars and stripes from my enlistment oath. You poisoned her against me, he hissed. Face inches from mine. Breath hot and sour. Everything was fine till you played hero. I drove my knee up, catching his gut, not perfect, but enough to stagger him. Rolling clear. I snatched the chair, wedging it between us. Fine? You locked her away. Cut her from the world. That's not love, that's a cage. Derek banged on the door. Vic. Wrap it up, we gotta bounce. But Victor was lost to it now. The simmer of years boiling over. He wrenched the chair away, hurling it aside with a crush. In his eyes, I saw the tyrant unmasked, not just my stepdad, but every bully who'd ever wielded fear like a crown. I fainted right. Dove left toward the dresser, fingers scraping for the emergency beacon Mia had given me, disguised as a watch box. A lifeline from our days dodging mortars. Victor's hand clamped my ankle, dragging me back. But I hit the button, 3 pulses. Silent scream to every MP on base. No more, I gasped as he loomed. Your game's done. The room closed in, Derek's shadow dancing under the door like a warden's ghost. But beneath the terror, a spark ignited, the certainty that help was racing toward us. That I'd finally flipped the script on their nightmare. Back in Dayton, Ohio, where the winters bit hard and the factories hummed like distant thunder. Life hadn't always been a pressure cooker. Before Victor, it was just Mom, Dad, and me in our cozy split level on Elm Avenue. Dad slung shifts at the auto plant. Mom baked pies for the PTA at Lincoln Elementary. Summers were fireflies in jars. Bike rides till dusk. The American dream wrapped in small-town simplicity. I was 13 when Dad's lungs gave out, black lung from years breathing factory dust. The funeral blurred into sympathy cards and frozen lasagnas. But Mom's eyes haunted me most, empty sockets where joy used to spark. She drifted through days like a ghost, clocking in at her secretary job, coming home to stare at Dad's recliner. I stepped up, microwaving dinners from his old playbook, weeding the garden he'd tended with calloused hands. But sorrow had her in its jaws. Victor slithered in 7 months later. Our fence sagged after a windstorm, and Mom couldn't swing the fix. He ran Harper Construction, though I later learned his crew was mostly off-the-books labor he stiffed on pay. He showed up, mended it gratis, waved off Mom's checks. Folks look out for folks, he said with that salesman grin that stopped short of his eyes. Your husband was solid. Least I can do. It started subtle, coffee runs after her shifts, tweaking the leaky faucet, stocking the fridge when bills pinched. He studied us like a hawk circling rabbits, probing weak spots. By Thanksgiving, he was at our table. By Easter, dating Mom. She laughed again. And I clung to that, ignoring the red flags, the way his voice edged when I interrupted, how he'd reroute her calls from Aunt Karen, the quiet erasures of Dad's photos to help her move on. They tied the knot the next fall. A quick courthouse deal. Mom wanted family from Michigan, but Victor sold her on intimate, just us, him, and Derek as witness. I stood in my sundress, watching her swap vows with this intruder, feeling like I'd signed off on a hostage swap. The shifts crept in. Victor nudged Mom to quit her job. Why grind when I got us covered? Bank accounts merged, but his name dominated. Her old Chevy kept breaking down right before friend visits, always fixed by his guy. Your mom's delicate, he'd tell me when I pushed back. Needs routine. Freedom's too much for her. Derek became the shadow, popping in with gifts, comics for me, chit-chat about school, then feeding intel back to Victor. His niceness was laced with eyes everywhere. The house morphed into a bunker. Deadbolts only Victor keyed. Cameras for safety. Mom's cell vanished, swapped for a monitored landline. Aunt Karen's calls dried up. Old coworkers got the cold shoulder at the door. I watched my fierce, funny mom shrink, whispers instead of words, glances before answers, permission slips for milk runs. The teacher who'd inspired kids now begged for pocket change. This ain't right, I whispered once, spotting thumbprints on her wrist while we sorted socks. You don't get grown-up stuff, she murmured, eyes averted. Victor cares. He just knows best. But I got it, Crystal. Love didn't demand surrender. Protection didn't bruise. Care didn't isolate. Victor hadn't rescued us. He'd annexed us. The day I hit 16. I fished shredded college pamphlets from the trash dreams I'd chased. Intercepted and shredded. That night, piecing them back. Resolve hardened. If school wasn't my out, I'd forge another. The Army recruiter's strip mall office sat next to the burger joint where teens loitered. I'd walked by forever, never dreaming it'd be my parachute. But chatting with Sergeant Lopez about boot camp, tours, benefits, I heard escape. Structure. Power Victor couldn't snatch. The house had become my cell block long before I clocked the bars. Victor mastered control. Scripting our days like a warden. Breakfast at dawn. Mom's schedule logged by lunch. Supper prompt. Slip-ups earned, lessons never public. Always hidden. Senior year should have buzzed with apps. Dances. Futures. Instead, survival mode. Derek landed a custodian gig at my high. Coincidence? Nah. Eyes on the prize. Family watch, he'd smirk. Lurking by lockers. Lunch lines. Even restrooms. Grades dipping, Victor declared one dinner. Waving my report, A's with A, B and trig. Boys distracting you? It's tough class, I countered. Everyone bombs Peterson's tests. His palm cracked the table, Mom flinched. I didn't. No excuses. Drop soccer. Too much roaming. Soccer was my oxygen. Last untaken scrap. But colleges want activities. College. He barked a laugh. Ain't for you. Post-grad. You'll clerk at the depot. Buddy's holding a spot steady. Local. Supervised. The depot reeked of grease and dead ends. Staffed by wide-eyed girls fading into nothing. Mom, I begged. But she poked her peas. Defeated. That night, shouts echoed Victor's tirade. Her pleas. Morning. She hid under long sleeves in the heat. I plodded in shadows. Guidance counselor MS. Rivera became my ally during study halls. Military kept surfacing. Pay. GI Bill. Instant severance from Victor's claws. Consent needed under 18, she cautioned. Or wait. Birthday loomed 3 months out, 90 days of chokehold. Watching Mom fade. Victor's vice tighten. I could gut it for liberty. Victor sniffed the scheme, scrutiny ramped. Derek chauffeured school runs. My room lock vanished for fire safety. Bag checks nightly. Mom's marks hid deeper. Her quiet heavier. November snapped it. Victor unearthed a recruitment flyer in my textbook. Ditching your mom? He waved it like a warrant. After all we sacrificed? Sacrificed? You've jailed us. The backhand stung my cheek. Mom inhaled sharp. Respect lesson incoming. Derek bunked in the attic next week. Extra surveillance since trust evaporated. Nights. He'd prowl halls. Testing knobs. I counted breaths till 18. Till breakout. Till rescuing us both. But Victor schemed ahead. Overheard called his depot pal about breaking the kid early. Before ideas take root. The job wasn't post-grad, it was now. I won't, I told Mom in the basement. Away from ears. You must, she hissed. Eyes ceiling ward. Don't worsen it. Worsen? It's rock bottom. She hiked her sleeve. Fresh prints over faded ones. Always deeper. That sealed it. 18th birthday, not quiet slip. But spectacle with proof. MS. Rivera aided, snapped Mom's bruises in school stalls. Taped Victor's rants via hidden recorder. Abuse ledger. Birthday Tuesday. Enlistment inked covert, forged Mom's sign-off. Rivera witnessing. Recruiter scooped me post-bell. Victor blind. Morning meal. He grinned. Depot after class. Derek drives. I nodded. Mask on. Mom's gaze flicked mine. Did she suspect? Sure. Victor. Last deception in that tomb. Fort Bragg. North Carolina. slammed like a gale after suffocation. Drill instructor's bellows. Nightmare to rookies. Sang freedom to me. Rules clear. Merit-based, not Victor's whims. Harper. 20 push-ups. Sergeant Hayes roared day 2. I dropped grinning. These were earned. Not soul crushers. Each rep built me, drills stacked resolve, tests proved I transcended victim. Mia Torres. Top bunk from Chicago's rough blocks. Mirrored my scars, survivor's edge. Light sleep. Wallbacks. What's chasing you? She whispered on watch. Stepdad. Mine? Gangs. We bonded beyond regs, her street brawls. My reg recitals. Boot camp unearthed buried steel. Courses that felled others? Child's play after Victor's mind games. When Hayes barked inadequacy. I stood granite, real demons tougher. Iron core. Harper, he grunted post-trials. Officer track material. I chased it all, advanced training. Jump school. Combat quals. Each badge barred Victor further. But Mom ghosted dreams. Rare calls shrank her voice. Victor's huff audible. Fine. Sweetie. Focus on you. Mom. Bolt. Shelters exist. Gotta go. Dial tone. Post boot at Bragg. I dove in. Iraq tore a bomb oceans from his grasp. Mia deployed beside, unit kin. Not twisted. Sergeant stripes quick. Victor honed vigilance aced patrols. Looser here, Mia noted on sentry. Threats honest, killers don't fake affection. Rotations built fortress, untouchable savings. Credit stacking. Battle-tested circle. Body honed to counter Victor's bulk. But Mom's line went dead, profiles dark. Mail bounced. Silence roared. Jag consulted, sans her buy-in. Zilch. Adults must want out. She's programmed, I pleaded. Hands tied. Derek's proxies messaged, Mom misses family. Victor forgives homecoming. Forgive? Acid. Me the villain for fleeing? Second tour capped with valor pin, dragged squad from flipped Humvee under fire. Ceremony empty, saved comrades. Not kin. Burning out, Mia warned. Eyeing my Ohio abuse hunts. Can't force rescue. But quitting betrayed. Promo after promo felt guilt-free air while she choked. Then MS. Rivera's encrypted ping, Mom hospitalized. Time's up. Dayton return grade. Shrunken. Emergency leave. Vague to CO. 6-hour drive in 4. Rental screaming interstates. Rivera met at a greasy spoon near Mercy Hospital. Worry carved her face. Discharged against advice, she slid files. Friend copied. Charts chilled, cracked ribs from stairs, choked windpipe. Accident, wasting in suburbia. Pics gutted, Mom skeletal. Eyes voids. Neighbors 9-11 D screams, Rivera said. Cops came. Victor coached her script. Derek. Lives in. Watches her solo shifts. Male supervised. Drove by childhood haunt that eve. Parked distant. Foot approach. House decayed, peeling siding. Weeds choking except entry path. Sensors. Cams everywhere. Derek's truck squatted. Kitchen glimpse, Mom robotic at stove. Derek table throned. Swollen cheek. Makeup failed. Zoom snapped all, locks. Cams. Wounds ammo for war. Next day. Lawyer Elias Grant. Jag referred. Office courthouse view. Walls triumph plastered. Cooperation key, he scanned proof. But escalation. Records. Fortress. We push emergency order. Push. Victor slick. No slam dunk witnesses. Derek alibis. Mom silent. Weak intel gather, drained inheritance docs. Neighbor affidavits. Home prison pics. But Victor countered. Day 5. Gas stop. Derek lounged on my rental. Emily. Town buzz. Back off. Family chat. Closer. I stand shifted. Mom worries. Military twisted you unstable. Victor's script. Same diff. Mask cracked. Scram. Nothing here. She chose. Chose? Or beaten. Eyes slit. Watch it. G.I. Jane. Home rules. Accidents fragile her. Threat bear. I advanced. Smelling smoke and sleaze. Camera caught that, nodding pumps. Recording too. Phone out. Rolling. He retreated. Grin forced. Won't stick. She stays. Know your pad, brag. Building 512. Unit 4B. Public info gold. Chill hit. But poker face. They'd stalked. That night. Motel, sorted proof. Plotted. Rivera rang worse, mom AR bounce. Untreated. Escalation. Decision. Bait Victor's slip. Predators lash when poked. Filed order next on. Naming both. Then phoned Victor's circle, Sergeant Harper here. Inquiring mom's welfare. Ripples. Response swift, mom's hospital call. Duo absent. Emily? What did you stir? What overdue? Coming now. He finds always. Not anymore. Race there. Knowing Victor's wound made him deadly. The hall to brag felt like fallback. Mom passenger huddled. Bag clutched. Window stared. Extracted mid-Victor's lawyer rage. 6-hour lead. Maybe. He'll hunt. She broke silence crossing state lines. Always does. Base shields. You don't grasp his depths. Learning fast. Phone flooded unknowns threats. My quarter snaps. Mia picks. Victor mind-gaming remote. Security amped. Patrols doubled. Mia crashed in. 2-woman watch. Mom 3 days. 8 steady. Color bloomed. Mia drilled basics. Confidence budding. Jag fortified legals. Then Thursday. 2 a.m. Neighbor dog hushed abrupt. Alert spiked. Mia whisper. She guarded mom. Hall steps deliberate, not MPs. Not neighbors. Door blasted. Victor framed. Derek sealed. Past checkpoints? Bribes. Fakes, Derek's underworld. Sergeant, Victor mocked. Taxpayer palace. Blocked path to mom. Beacon 8 feet. Mia bat-armed. Trespass. Order breach, federal. MP's motorpool blaze. Derek smirked. Tip diverted M20. Set up. Victor in. Derek jammed out. Wife chat. Private. She's no object. Mine all fed. Clothed. Eyes bored mom. Forgot owner. Karen. Whimper triggered me. Decade rage crystallized. Victor charged. I redirected. Wall slam. Space tight. Training hampered. Mia. Beacon. He chair swung. Shoulder clipped. Spun. Pain old friend. Derek pounded. Vic. Company. Victor rabid. Grabbed. I closed. Knee. Gouge. He bellowed. Reeled. Dove. Pulsed beacon base-wide alarm. Victor bloodied. Charged. World sirens. Full scramble. Derek. But fleeing steps. No loyalty. Mia bat poised. Mom rose. Uncowed. Lights flashed. Over? No. Yes. Door breached. MPs swarmed. Arms hot. Saw mess. Victor marked. My defense. Mom's scars. Hands up. Complied. Hate glaring. Lockdown. Dogs. Choppers. Victor triggered apocalypse. Cornered. Thompson updated. Custody. Transport soon. Rodriguez Jag. Federal. Assault. Arson. Breach. Decades. Victor paled beyond fixes. Motopool accelerant. Derek sang. Blamed you. Betrayal buckled him. Medics documented. Mom stepped. Testify all abuse. Cages. Beatings. Karen. Zip it. Victor barked. She advanced. No. You. Took everything. But unbroken. Emily saved. Real love. MPs hauled. Victor lunged futile. Eyes met mine, fear. First time. Entering rules he couldn't bend. Derek paraded past. Head low, confessed full. Stalking. Crimes unearthed. Solid case, Rodriguez. Locked long. Chaos ebbed. Sat steps with Mia. Slung arm. You did. We. Beacon yours. Meant escape. Return. Rare. She dials. Now lives. Blur. Statements. Fixes. Commander vowed security revamp. Dawn over brag. Wreckage. But victory. Mom coffee handed. Sunrise shared. Sorry weak. Survived strong. Stood when counted. Learned you. Always. Apartment mended. Mom housed. Sarah class defenses. Tyrants caged. Greatest win, home front. 2 a.m. Refusing victimhood. I stepped into the hallway. Buzzing with agents and guards. Each stride lighter. Sun gilding all. Victor's dawn, bars. Thompson, federal hold. 25 minutes. Life possible. Prison karma for woman herders. Rodriguez, landmark DV federal cross. Mom relocated. Housing. Therapy. Training. She self-saved. I opened door. Mia emerged with gear. Base a buzz. Help offers flood. Community hit back. Outside. Victor van loaded. Eyes locked last, shackled. Jumpsuit. Control crumbles on fear, I called. Strength from survival. Protection. Silence. Defeat. Van rolled. Mom hand slipped mine. Over? Fear yes. Life begins. Derek's van trailed. Averted gaze, coward bear. Base normalized, fire quashed. Breach probed. Normal redefined, mom healing. Trial ahead. But step taken. Bench with Mia. Hero memorial. Hardest? Believing deserved fight. Right? Duty to self. Weak. Cycle break. Messages poured, Rivera relieved. Peers apologetic. Depot boss ashamed. Shame lifted, truth empowered. Evening. Repaired space, commendations gleamed. When not overseas. But here, unbreakable. Sunset victory hued, scars earned prize. Victor invaded sanctuary, caged himself. We reclaimed selves. Power. Spirit. Door stronger. Like us.